Hello everybody, my name is Anna. Привет, меня зовут Anna. I'm a professional teacher of Russian language, and in this series of videos I want to teach you some basic Russian. On our channel you can find lots of entertaining videos. I believe that you can acquire language the best way through positive emotions, with joy, with fun. But in this series of videos I want to be serious teacher, I guess, just to show you how my lessons go, and so you can learn lots of important things. Many teachers out there, they use academic method when you have to go rule after rule. I personally use communicative method. That's why learning with me, you acquire only practical things that you can use straight away with your friends, acquaintances, colleagues, speaking Russian. First, let's see what are you gonna learn in this series. The verb to be, basic grammar, questions, the most important part in starting the language, I believe, because even when you cannot speak Russian well, you always can ask a question and the person you're talking to will feel connected, appreciated. So questions, it's a really simple part. It's only maybe 20 words, and if you know them, you can maintain a conversation. Modal verbs, how to say I can, I must, I need. With these few verbs, you will be able to express your desires, your requests, and use them in formal and in informal situations. Short, common words. Many people love this topic. For example, this channel is called Blin School, and blin is not only pancake in Russian, but it's a word like damn or scheite in German. So people always say this word blin, 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 and if you don't know this, if you're out of context, it will be pretty strange to hear that. Prepositions v and na, what's the difference, when to use which one? Numbers, we'll look through them, and again, using a conversational practical approach, we'll not only drill the numbers, but see how we can use them in everyday life and build in the sentences. Past tense, obviously, you need to be able to say what you've been doing yesterday or previous year. Future tense, imperatives, if you want to say somebody, do it, read it, write it. Me as a teacher, I use lots of these words with my students. Adverbs, how to say happily, quietly. Just a quick fact, in English, most adverbs end on li. For example, happily, quietly, and in Russian, most adverbs end on o. Счастливо, тихо, and so on. So if you see o at the end, not 100%, but most likely it's an adverb. And the last one, common phrase, obviously everyday conversations, the phrases you should know, probably you already know some of them. So today we'll start with the first point, it's the verb to be. The rule goes like this. Auxiliary words, for example, am, is, are not used in Russian. So we simply ignore them, get rid of them, that's it. Let's look at the examples. Affirmative sentences are the sentences that end on dot. So it's not a question, it's not a negative, it's affirmative. And here you can see some examples of affirmative sentences, and I'm going to translate them. Pay attention that I'm not going to translate am, are, or is. We just ignore these words, they don't exist in Russian. Я учитель, ты очень умный, она мой лучший друг, он на работе, это солнечный день, мы счастливы, они в парке, мой дом большой, машина красная, этот фильм интересный. Maybe you've noticed that in Russian we also don't have the articles or the. That's why when I translated the car is red, I just said two words, car, red, машина, красная. That's it. If you wonder why is it красная, not красный, or красные, you can check out the videos about adjectives where I describe in details this nuance. Let's move to the negative sentences. To say don't, we use a little word не. Нет is for no, when we say yes, no, да, нет. But just не, it's a way to say don't. I don't. So let's look at the examples. Я не устал. Ты не опоздал. Она не в школе. Он не голодный. Это не холодно сегодня. Normally we don't even say это in this case. It just, I would say, сегодня не холодно. Today not cold. That's how I say it. Мы не готовы. Они не в доме. Мой телефон не в сумке. Книга не скучная. Яблоки не свежие. If you don't know all these words yet, don't worry, it's alright. The goal of this lesson is for you to understand and to get the example that in Russian there is no M, is A. And this is good news, right? It's a little bit simpler grammar. The next part is questions. Questions with the verb to be. Again, we just ignore it. Я прав? Ты занят? Она доктор? Он твой брат? Это хорошая идея? Мы опоздали? Они на кухне? Эта книга интересная? Дети в школе? Погода хорошая сегодня? As you can see, affirmative and question sentences basically the same. I can say ты занят, which means you are busy, or I can ask ты занят? The same two words. The difference is only in intonation when you speak. So when you ask questions, make sure you use the right intonation. Now that we covered the verb to be, I suggest we look at some basic everyday phrases that you definitely need to know if you study Russian. Don't be shy to repeat after me aloud so the words stick in your head, or that you can copy the right intonation. Доброе утро. Добрый день. Добрый вечер. Как ты? Как дела? Спасибо. Увидимся позже. Or you can say увидимся, just see you. Or we can specify увидимся во вторник, увидимся в пятницу, just using a particular day of the week. Извините. And to say I'm sorry, the same, извините. Oh, also we can say извините, пожалуйста. Без проблем. Я не знаю. What follows after each good lesson? You're right, the homework. To make your remembering process easier, I prepared a set of cards that you can digitally look through, memorize, play with it in a different way to revise all the words from today's lesson. There are also some tasks for you to practice the verb to be and to practice everyday phrases. All these materials you can get on my Patreon. Patreon is a place where I'm going to upload additional materials for you to study Russian, and where you can get personal feedback from me, ask any question, send me your homework, send me your writing, and I'll personally give you feedback, correct your mistake, and guide you or recommend you the next step of your studying journey. To subscribe on Patreon, you can go on the link below. Or if you prefer to have a trial lesson with me, which is for free, you can also sign up on the form and you'll find the link under this video. The next lesson in this course is going to be about questions. How to ask questions in Russian, how to do it correctly, what is the word order in the questions, what are the most popular questions people constantly ask. All of this you'll find out in the next lesson. Stay in touch, don't forget to subscribe, give me likes if you enjoyed this video, leave some comments, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Пока!